Finding that was a rediscovering body ways came about in 1971.
That's important.
And even before then, I had knowledge of it by this old man who lived next door to this house here where I was born. His name was Jack Andrews. They call him Jack Mane Bebe. That was his name, that's his nickname. But he was about, I'll say, when I first heard about it, I was about 20 years old, so that would have been about 46, and I came out of the service. And I used to drive him around, and I used to drive him up towards Plimpton. He had a bog over there. And he used to point out that land to me all the time. He said, "Augie, you can put a business over there because that's black people's land." And he knew he had visited them people before. They were still living there when he came in his country, so he knew them. He said, "That's New Guinea." But I just paid no mind. I'm 20 years old, I'm driving him. Yeah. Every time we go by, he'd say, "Yeah, you can put business there." He knew I like to get my own business. So I didn't thought nothing of it. But then, in 1971, late 71, a group of guys came to Plymouth, and they wanted to start a black studies course in Massasoit Community College. And their name was Hiram Crawford, which is in your book there, and Ronnie Shepard. In fact, I got a picture of Ronnie Shepard because they were instrumental in starting this. So, in the meantime, we got the state to allow us to get a class in Massasoit Community College, but we wanted it under our direction. Hiram Crawford was he was a professor from Levi University in Pennsylvania. He graduated over there, one of the youngest professors that came. He was smart, so he got us in to put us into, to get us accredited to go into that school. After 2 years, we would have a class in that school called Direction, Black Studies course. So, but anyhow, we arranged that, and we got the town people to pay some of the doctors and lawyers and stuff. We went around to pay for the students to get in there. We had to do a lot of groundwork to get this course. So now we got the program going. What we need.
And what year was that?
This is 1971. So we got the program going, but now we needed some for the students to go out. So I remember that about the man telling me about the blacks on that. So I went to the Plymouth library, and I looked up that plot of land, and I found it under the cemetery. I went to the cemetery commission. And they were surprised, but they opened the book and let me see where it was and what book it was in. So I went and take pictures of that. And I brought it to the class. And we used that. Margie Anderson was one of the pupils in the class, my daughter and my son, plus a few others from Brockton and around. And we gave them that to go out in the area and check on it. In other words, go bug the public officials and find out why this was like that. And at the same time, that was just when they were going to start making that a cemetery. They had started to cut the ground to make it a cemetery. Nobody knew. But this, once we started, they kind of slowed it down. And then Margie Anderson took over, because we were busy on other things. She took over and kept it running until it got to the historic thing. But we was always there advising her, trying to help her get along, but she was overwhelmed with what was going on. And they took her after a while. She blew her mind, I guess, because it was so much. I don't know what kind of pressure was coming on her because she was moving too fast for the system, I believe. And but anyhow, that's the beginning, and them are the characters they were.
So did